Hey, Jerry Palladino here for Muscle Cars Old and New. And this past Saturday, they had a classic car gathering over at the local Harley dealership. I'm going to show you some of the cars that I find the most interesting. There was a pretty wide variety. Here's a second generation Camaro. It says Z28 on it. I never did get to speak with the owner, but I could tell you this: there's just an incredible, beautiful paint job on this car. Everything about it was just detailed to the hilt, and that includes the tires and the wheels, and of course under the hood. Now, I don't know if this is the original motor. Originally these came with, if it's a 70 model, the LT1 350 cubic inch, 360 horsepower. That was a high revving motor. It would rip to 7,000 RPMs. Really nice car. Fabulous condition. Here's another one with, I think this is a 79 or so. Again, the owner wasn't available to get any information on the car. Nice two-tone paint job. I'm not crazy about two-tone on cars like this, but, to each their own. And here's a Challenger. And the special part of that, or of this car, is under the hood here. It looks like it's, a snake skin. Detailed very nicely. I'd never seen anything like that. But it's different, and it looks good. There's an actual Mini parked next to it, and as you can see, they really were Mini. Here's a 68 Camaro. This is a drag car, or at least used for that purpose. It's only 3,000 miles on it, all, a quarter mile at a time. I just made that up. But I could tell by the big slicks on the back and the roll cage. And again, beautifully detailed motor. I have no idea what motor is in there or what kind of times this car runs. And there's a Catalina convertible. I love those older Pontiacs. I remember the time when you could tell a Pontiac easily from a Chevrolet or from a Ford. Today, yeah, not so much. Again, detailed under the hood, the body, beautiful convertible. Two-tone interior. Just a really nice car. Here's a 58 Chevy. Not my favorite year. Nor my favorite color, but hey, if somebody was going to give it to me, I'd certainly take it. So much charm with these 1950s cars. Now, granted, back then, as I've mentioned before, quality wasn't job one. Some manufacturers better than others. And here's a nice Trans Am. The original sticker's on there, as a matter of fact. I can't see what year it was or the actual price on there, but again, this looks like a car that somebody bought and just kept in just excellent condition. Doesn't appear to be restored. And here's I think this is a 66 GTO. Again, perfectly restored, beautiful paint job. Underhood looks great. Interior extremely nice as well. I'm sorry about this voiceover, but they were playing some loud music in the background. So loud that, I couldn't talk to too many people. But of course, with copyright strikes that you get from YouTube, I had to just take that music away. Here's a first year Camaro, 1967. Super Sport 350. I believe that's a 300 horse. That's what they came with anyway. You could tell the first year because they still had the vent windows. This appears to be, well, I'd call it a driver quality. Really nice, clean car. Don't know if it's been completely restored or not. As I said, the owners, for whatever reason, weren't near their cars to actually interview them or talk with them. So I'm just taking a guess at these things. Here's a 70 Roadrunner 440. That's the engine to have. Again, beautiful shape, really nice paint job. There was very little information on those tags they put on the windows. And this one's got a, looks like automatic transmission. Aftermarket wheels. So you might call this a resto mod. I'm not sure if that's the original motor. And that wild color that they still make, well, they did up until 2023 make that color. Here's a 64 GTO. Not a hardtop. It's two-door sedan. It's got the tripod. According to the owner, he told me that back then this was a dealer installed option. If you opted for the 3 2-barrels that came in the trunk of the car, and it was up to you or the dealer to install them. This car is just in phenomenal shape. The owner said he bought this at a Barrett-Jackson auction, and that he'd been looking for one in a similar color with similar options for many, many years, and finally found it. And at Barrett-Jackson, yeah, you're going to go for the gusto as far as money. He told me he does drive the car occasionally. He's not a daily driver, but he does get to drive the car around and enjoy it. And that's to me what these are all about. If you get a car like this and you just park it in the garage or put it in a collection and never drive the car or even start it up, well, that seems to me to be really a waste. Again, every part of this car, every nut and bolt, perfectly restored. If I had to guess at a value, I would say somewhere around $75,000. And here's a really interesting car. This is actually a Challenger made over to look like a 68 through 70 Dodge Charger. Why Chrysler or Dodge didn't do this instead of those 4-door things that looked nothing like the original Chargers? I mean, they did a really good job with the Challenger. Why couldn't they make a Charger look like this? If the aftermarket could do it, I'm sure the factory could have done it, and a lot less expensively. But it is actually a Challenger underneath. Challenger running gear, wheelbase, motor. It just looks so good. In fact, it actually looks better than the 68, 69, 70 Dodge Chargers. And I'm sure it runs a lot better as well, handling, performance-wise. And really, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe.